Hello, I'm Beelzebub and welcome to my channel. You remember the end of my last video when I said I'd talk about the other 10 commandments? Keep an eye out for my next video. My next video I'm planning on doing is the other set of 10 commandments. Well, I'm here to make good on that promise. I'm sure that everyone has at least a passing familiarity with the 10 commandments. But if you watched my last video, you probably understand them a bit better than most Christians do. But did you know that there was a second set of 10 commandments? A different set than the one found in Exodus 20. If you remember, in Exodus 32:19, you know that Moses smashed the original tablets when he caught the Israelites worshiping a statue of a golden calf. Well, in Exodus 34, Moses goes back up the mountain to have a little chat with God. The conversation that never happened went like this. The Lord said to Moses, "Chisel out 2 stone tablets like the first ones, and I will write on them the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke." Keep that in mind, everyone. God told Moses that he would copy the same words from the first set of 10 commandments onto the second. Let's see how he did, shall we? By the way, the links I have below both link to the NIV to compare the 2 sets of 10 commandments, just so I can keep a level of consistency. I don't want to use 2 different translations of the Bible, to compare and contrast the same thing. So follow along if you want to see just how accurately God copied his own work. The first new commandment says, "Do not worship any other god, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God." It's similar, I'll give God that much, but it doesn't have the same words as the first set. So starting off, we are 0 for 10. The new second commandment says, "Be careful not to make a treaty with those who live in the land, for when they prostitute themselves to their gods and sacrifice to them, they will invite you, and you will eat their sacrifices. And when you choose some of their daughters as wives for your sons, and those daughters prostitute themselves to their gods, they will lead your sons to do the same." So we go from a somewhat similar commandment to one that is wildly different from its source material. It's actually so different that I'm going to take away a point. So God's actually dipping into the negative, and we're only on the second commandment, so -1 out of 10. Hang on a second, did the one true God just acknowledge other gods as real and legitimate? Funny thing, that. The new third commandment says, "Do not make any idols." This one's close, yet so far away. But since it's only 1 commandment off, I'm only going to take away half of a point. So -1.5 out of 10. The new 4th commandment says, "Celebrate the festival of unleavened bread. For 7 days eat bread made without yeast, as I commanded you. Do this at the appointed time of the month of Aviv, for in that month you came out of Egypt." And just in case you don't know what the festival of unleavened bread is, it's Passover. This one deviates a lot from the 4th commandment found in Exodus 20, so I have to take away another point, -2 out of 10. The new 5th commandment says, "The first offspring of every womb belongs to me, including all the firstborn males of your livestock, whether from herd or flock. Redeem the firstborn donkey with a lamb, but if you do not redeem it, break its neck. Redeem all your firstborn sons. No one is to appear before me empty-handed. Again, nothing at all like the fifth commandment found in Exodus 20, so I have to take away another point. So now God's at negative 3.5 out of 10. The new sixth commandment says, 6 days shall you labor, but on the seventh day you shall rest. Even during the plowing season and harvest, you must rest. So close, but no cigar. It's similar to the fourth commandment found in Exodus 20, and since it's only off by 2 commandments, I'll only take away half a point. We're at a whole number again. It's negative, but whole. Negative 4 out of 10. The new seventh commandment says, celebrate the festival of weeks with the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and the festival of ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times a year, all your men are to appear before the sovereign Lord, the God of Israel. I will drive out nations before you and enlarge your territory, and no one will covet your land when you go up 3 times each year before the Lord your God. This one was a huge swing and a miss. Negative 5 out of 10. I almost forgot. If you're curious about what the Festival of Weeks and the Festival of Ingathering are, the Festival of Weeks is probably better known as Pentecost. The Festival of Ingathering doesn't have a Christian analog, but I'll do my best to explain it. It's a holiday celebrated on the 15th day of the 7th month and is one of the 3 pilgrimage festivals, all mentioned in the new set of 10 Commandments. That's just a really brief, really simplified explanation, but it may give you a better understanding of the festival. Never say that my channel is in no way educational. Moving on to the new 8th commandment, it says, do not offer the blood of a sacrifice to me along with anything containing yeast, and do not let any of the sacrifice from the Passover festival remain until morning. Again, nothing like the first set of 10 commandments. Negative 6 out of 10. The new 9th commandment says, bring the best of the first fruits of your soil to the house of the Lord your God. I can't figure out if God is screwing with us, didn't read his own set of original 10 Commandments just 14 chapters prior, or just didn't care. But since this is nothing like the first set from Exodus 20, I've got to take away another point. Negative 7 out of 10. And finally, the new 10th commandment, which really solidifies my belief that this new set was supposed to be a joke. This one says, do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. I'm at a loss here. Why would this ever be a rule? I tried looking up why, but couldn't find anything. But since the new 10th commandment is nothing like its original counterpart, I have to take away another point, ending at negative 8 out of 10. Okay, so admittedly the point system I used was meant to be funny, and only one commandment came close to matching its counterpart in Exodus 20. So let's go back to my question about seeing how well God did at copying his own work. I had to say he failed. I mean, I know Moses is supposed to have smashed the tablets, but someone was able to commit the first set to memory and wrote it down. Why not the author, the supposed author of the universe? The story doesn't make sense. Did God have a bad memory or what? I genuinely don't get it. That'll do it for this video though. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. You'll find the link for that down below so you can keep up with all of my comings and goings. Take it easy everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one.